We're here in Maida Vale's sound effects unit, I suppose you would describe it as. I'm going to immediately introduce a man who knows a lot more about it than I do. It's the studio manager. It's Roger Daines. Hello, Roger.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
And you.
No, it gives a
Maida
little.
Vale 6.
It's exciting, isn't it?
It's a bit different, isn't it? Slightly different from the studio that you used to be in.
Completely,
in
yeah.
music,
It's much roomier. It doesn't smell as bad.
Get a few actors in here. Believe me. Yeah.
Because it's quite hot as well.
The smell of the grease paint.
The roar of the crowd.
The roar of the crowd.
But tell us a little potted history of this place.
Well, basically, this is one of the drama studios. BBC's got about half a dozen drama studios spaced around the country. And there's some sort of radio drama pretty much every day, at least about an hour or so of radio drama on at least one of our networks. So we make mostly stuff for Radio 4, Radio 4 Extra, a little bit for Radio 2, Radio 3. So we're across quite a number of networks.
Well, and for 6 hopefully soon. Because anybody who's a regular listener to my show,
Sean, it's expensive, radio drama.
We haven't got any budget. But I mean, I tend to do a lot of drama on my show as well. But I would like to go through the kitchen and show some of the actual effects.
The way that a radio drama studio is set up, it's a bit like a playground. And you have a lot of different acoustics as you move from place to place. The feel of the room changes, So here you've got a little kitchen. We've got a little bit of...
Let's try a little bit of drama.
Yeah, go for it.
You want a cup of tea or what, Janine?
No, I don't. You make horrible tea. What you doing, Dad? I don't like... Oh, you're on the bottle again, are you?
Just leave me alone, for God's sake. That was quite dramatic.
Do you want to make tea at the BBC?
Just like the Clash said. Fantastic. So this is the kitchen.
So this kitchen area. Or it can be a cell, in a prison or something like that. Anywhere that's kind of tight and
quite
boxy
enclosed,
and so on.
isn't it?
And then here you've got a larger space, which is what we call a live area, which could be a ballroom in a period piece. It could be...
high ceiling.
Yeah, it could be St Paul's Cathedral. It could be something like that. And then as you move...
room.
Yeah, of course. Posh. And then you've got the crazy staircase.
This is good. Now, let's just describe this to the radio listeners, the people listening on the old technology. It's a staircase that has wood on one side, carpet in the middle, and concrete on the other side. I'm just going to give you a little idea as to what that sounds like. If I pull anything, and I've got to do Let's Dance for Comic Relief this weekend, I'm putting a claim into the BBC. Yeah. That's quite exciting.
Yeah, that's not bad, is it? It just gives you the opportunity of any sort of different acoustic you might need.
You've got it all. All stairs are covered on that particular
And then you've got
staircase.
doors built into walls and so on, so you can actually go physically from one space into another. What we're doing now is walking into what we call the dead room.
Yeah.
And this, you can kind of hear that suddenly there's much less reverberation. Right. So this is where you're doing your outside scenes, your gardens, your decks of ships.
Man gets into a motor vehicle.
Absolutely, that kind of thing.
And we can be outside, can't we? Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. I am now... Look at that. I'm tap dancing on the beach. I can even have a sword fight with somebody on a beach. And what I can do is also... I can go and walk through the forest or walk through a load of old magnetic tape if you want that sound effect.
You can't get that kind of magnetic tape very easily these days. That's a period piece in itself.
It is, isn't it? And look at that. You throw a mat on it. You're walking on compacted snow, ladies and gentlemen.
Isn't it? And no expense incurred.
Isn't that incredible?
This is great.
And finally, Lauren, what we're going to do now is we've got a thing called the Snail. If you could very briefly tell us what this is, and then I'm going to get thrown off the top of a cliff.
All right. Well, the idea of the Snail is it's also called an acoustic trap. You have the need to make people go a long way away, but of course we're in a room. So the idea is if you have a snail, which kind of a spiral corridor that goes back on itself, as you go down that corridor, from our position, because we're as it were the microphone, it sounds like you've gone an incredibly long way away in no space at all.
So Lauren, do you want to hurl me off a cliff?
Of course I do, Sean.
Brilliant.
I've always wanted to hurl you off a cliff.
Well, I've seen that in your eyes since the first day I met you. Go on then, give me a shove.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic. Shaun Keaveny, everybody. I hope he hasn't actually damaged himself around the corner because he really is doing Let's Dance for Comic Relief this weekend. Shaun. I think... Oh, he's back. He's coming back. You're right, Shaun.
Listen, that's a hamstring, that.
That's a hamstring that's gone there, is it?
Absolute nightmare. That's a health and safety form.
Okay, do we need to get a physiotherapist?
As soon as possible.
Okay.
Down to MV6.
It's all right. It's 6 Music. There's probably one in the audience. Don't worry. Go and ask. Thank you very much. That was wonderful.
Thank you very much indeed, Roger.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
See you soon.
See you soon. Shaun Keaveny.